Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. It's a green day on the markets today, a lot of money being made. However, Eli Lilly, not so much, down 7%. We're covering the earnings. Welcome to the official earnings call of Eli Lilly. Lovely to have you here. Thank you very much indeed. Consider subscribing to our channel. Tap the like button. We're live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the Extra channel. We're live every Friday night for our music concert, and we're live all day, every trading day here on the main channel, from one event to the other. 3 broadcasters, myself, Vaz, and Sensei. We're here for you all day, every day, providing live streams, special events, covering the earnings, covering all the major news events. We aim to be the most honest, trusted service on YouTube TV, providing the best quality entertainment, facts, and a friendly family where everyone gets heard. Anyone can call in, anyone can ask me anything. This is my real money, my real trades, and boy, am I making some stupid amounts of money. It should be illegal to make how much money I'm making on my portfolio right now. It's insane. It's thousands of dollars every single day at the moment. We bought the dips, we went all in, and we bought with conviction, and now we're doing well. Okay, let's get ready to rock and roll. Tap the like button, consider subscribing to the channel. I believe we have a birthday in the chat, so let me just go through. I've got a few comments before we get into our earnings. This is Eli Lilly. You are early. We're ready. We're always early. We're always ready, like a spider. I like to say we're like a spider, like Spider-Man. If you think of a spider, you know, the 8 legs like that? They're always ready, always ready. No matter what happens, a spider is ready. It's never sleeping. It's never snooze, you lose. A spider is like that. Whichever angle you come at it, it's ready, 100%. Legs all around, always awake, always ready to go. That's like me. All right, okay. All right, let me see what we got in the chat. How many people are here, rocking and rolling? All right, what have we got? So we've got James, who was first to the show. Lovely. Please smash the like button on your way in. Rogue Rider just became a member. Fantastic. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Now I'm unfortunately unable to participate in all the LucasAid systems from my phone until late evening, as I'm only on my mobile all day. This makes me sad. Kimberly, it makes me sad too. What's going on? Is it your birthday today? This is my saddest birthday now. Oh no, what? We got to fix that. We got to fix that. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Happy birthday, Josh. Joshy, how are you? My Discord is not working from my phone. You did say we would be seeing changes. No, it is working from your phone. Have you got the app? It works on my phone still. Mind you, I'm special, right? Maybe I'm special. I don't know. Let me just check. Let me just go onto my mobile app. No, the service is still working on my phone. Still working, still rocking and rolling. Yeah. Still rocking and rolling. So that works. You get the Discord app. I'll show you what it looks like. Right, there's the disc. You know what the Discord app looks like, right? Let me just get it in the center of the screen. There, Discord app. Can you see it? Top left-hand corner. That's the Discord app. It's working. So you might have your role removed. That might be what it is. That probably has happened. But it explains it in all of the channels. I've got lots of channels where the information will be explained. In fact, it's there. I tell you what I'm going to do. I've got a few seconds. Let me write this in. I need a channel that's open. I don't know. Have we got one that's open? Let me just go to welcome all. Ready. Let me write this. Right. Okay. I've got a link here. I'm putting this link here to explain what's going on Discord externally. So just in case you have problems, let me post it on... Let me post it on X. Oh my gosh, that looks really rubbish, doesn't it? Okay, human experience. La. Okay, so let me just change that. I'm putting it on X now so you can see everything. I'll put a couple of lines in there. Let me go put that there. All right. Okay. I've just added a couple. Right. There we go. Right. I'm just putting this on X so you can all go and see what I'm, just in case you can't access Discord for some reason. So, post. There you go. There's my X link. There's my Instagram. I've just posted it on X. It's not really an Instagram thing. I don't know. I can probably put it on Instagram. Okay, there it is. It's also on Facebook, like the investor page. Let me just do that. We've got time. We've got 8 minutes before the earnings call, so stand by. Eli Lilly coming up in a second. I'm just updating everybody with a little message. To bring everybody up to date. So what should I put? I'll use, which one should I put? Use that one. Okay, I'll put that one. Got a little picture here. All right, I'll put it on Instagram as well. I've given you the link. There's X, there's Instagram for any information about it. All right, there you go. I'll do it on Threads as well. I'll just put the text on Threads. There we go. Oh, is it too long? Yeah, it's too long for Threads. See. Post failed. Yeah, it's too long for Threads. They can't cope with it. These people that have these minimums, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Really. There you go. There you go. That's all done. Right, everyone's got that. It's now on the Facebook group as well. Okay. I'll also post it on our community page on YouTube, so you know what's going on. Want to make sure everybody's kept up to date. Right, there we go. And let me go. We've got a poll running right now on Eli Lilly. I'll be giving you that in a second. Post that as well. There you go. Everything is everywhere. So if you don't know what it is, I don't know what else to do. Otherwise, come round your house and give it to you in person. All right. Yes, he did. Thank you for the birthday wishes. So is it your birthday today, Kimberly? Thank you, everyone, for birthday wishes. Lucas A family's the best. Love you guys. Happy birthday. Kimberly, right. Are you going to be here after the earnings? Because I'm only going to be here for the earnings and after the earnings, because I'm not doing a closing bell this afternoon because I've got to take Leah to the doctors. So I'm going to the doctors this afternoon. No closing bell. Got to take care of my wife. So if you'd like the happy birthday, we'll do it at the end of the earnings. Does that work for you? Happy birthday, Kimberly. Or if that doesn't work for you, we'll celebrate tomorrow night in the party, the Friday concert. Good morning, afternoon, everyone. XRP attempted to buy Circle. Thank you, 1 of 7 billion. RB Smash, good afternoon. Hi, Safa is here. Is there a phone call? Is there a phone-in call? Yeah. You want to call in? You want to be on the call? Alrighty. Let me put that in there. Right. Live video phone in. You have to let me know you're calling in. All right. If you want to call in, you have to be a member, and you have to tell me you're calling in. Let me pin that to the top. There you go. Discord says I have to pay to see. Mike. So I've just put the message, put the message out, Mike. This is what the message reads on X. Now, come on, Mike, pay attention, Mike. I put a message out for you. Flipping it, Mike. All you got to do is read this, right, Mike? Bloody hell, Mike. What's he like? Right. This is what it says. This is what it says, and this is directly to you, Mike. Directly to you. No, seriously, it is. It's directly to Mike and all the founder members. Hi, Lucasades. We've got 5 minutes to go. Eli Lilly, you're not missing anything. Hi, Lucasades. We are upgrading Discord. You may experience some inconvenience over the next few days. I am sorry. If you're calling in, you've got to let me know you're calling in the chat. And that way I know you're calling in. If you don't tell me you're calling in, I cannot pick up the phone to you. All right? Okay. We're upgrading Discord. You may experience some inconvenience over the next few days. I'm sorry. This will be over soon. Roles will be taken away and you will not see anything, because we give you a role so you can see stuff, right? And you've got a YouTube member role. It's being taken away so you won't see anything. You're not thrown out. You're not deleted. You just don't see anything for the minute. When the work is completed, we will manually add back roles to members who verify they have a 3-month badge. So if you've got a 3-month badge, you will be on the live show. We'll do it all on YouTube, and you'll show me you've got a badge, and I will add you back in again. It's a one-time thing, right? We will explain how to do this on a special live YouTube event. So all founder YouTube members will be given the service for free for life. It's not the full premium service. There's extra stuff that we have to pay for and add, and I have to boost the channel, and I have to pay people to work on it for me and stuff like that. So I can't just give it the same service to everyone for free, but what you had before, you still get. That's what I always said. The founder members would always get everything they always got. Those who are premium subscribers will not lose their roles and will also get a much more advanced service. Direct messaging will change to cut out the trolls and the spammers. So you won't be able to direct message anymore unless you are friends with that person. All right? That person can't message you unless they're friends with you. So never accept a friend request from anyone else that isn't verified. And once we get members and verified like people like the moderators and the owner, myself, and the admins like Sensei and stuff like that, they will have badges so you'll know who they are. And remember, I never send friend requests from anyone, so if you're accepting friend requests, you know it's not me. They won't have a badge, they won't have verification. Don't accept it. And you can only message people that you are friends with. So very, very simple now. We did that. We're literally paying someone to fix all this. All premium members can friend request me and send direct messages to me. There'll be more information and updates very soon. If you wish to upgrade to the best service, it's just $2.99. Here is the link. We can't make it any cheaper than that. We've got to pay people to work on the server now, and admin server and upgrades, and we've got to boost the server for all the badges and stuff. So we can't make it cheaper than that. Here is the link. Click purchase. Click purchase, not join, as you will not see anything. If you click the join, you won't see anything, just the purchase one. Anything or get the perks that are coming. You can cancel it anytime. So if you don't like it, you can cancel. If you don't think it's worth $2, you can cancel it. I don't think you'll say that though, but if you do feel that way, then you can also do that. All right, we got 1 minute to go before Eli Lilly's earnings. I'm just got it on standby. Welcome, everybody. Tap the like button. Consider subscribing. It'll be a couple of minutes late. It always is. That's okay. That's what everyone is like. There's the audio. I've got a guest who wants to be on the show. There he is. Safa, good afternoon. How are you? Are you well? Are you well, mate? I'm talking to you. How are you? He can't hear me. Safa, can you not hear me? Scratching his chin. He can't hear me. Can't even see me. I don't know what's going on there. Safa, good morning to you. No? Okay. You are on the show. You're live on the show.
Hey.
Oh, can you hear me?
Wait, it's lagging or something.
Oh yeah, you're behind the screen. Yeah. That's why you got to click live. You got to be in the live stream. I've run out of time. I'll come back to you in a minute during the call, but we got to start the call. So stand by. All right. Okay. Let's get straight into it. Let's get ready for Eli Lilly. Make sure that you're watching through the phone in, not the YouTube. That's why you're behind the stream. That's why you missed it there. I might have chance still to talk to you quickly. How long have we got? Right, any second now. So, Safa, you can give me a quick comment. You've got a couple of seconds. How are you? You're still watching on YouTube. You're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on the phone in, you can talk to me straight away.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're watching on YouTube, so you're behind the stream all the time. You need to be watching for the phone interview, right? You've got 10 seconds. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am doing very well. Our portfolio is all-time high again today. We bought the bottom, exploding. We're just coming up to $400,000 now. That'll be there in about 2 months. $5,000 to $400,000 in just 2 months. It's going to be incredible. So, Safa, lovely to have you here. I've got to do the earnings. Stay with us if you wish to stay on the call. Right, okay.
A question and answer session.
Here we go.
Instructions
earnings
will be given at that time.
Stephen Lewandowski
Should you require assistance during the call, please press star, then 0, and an operator will assist you offline. I would now like to turn the conference over to your host, Mike Sapar, Senior Vice President of Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us for Eli Lilly Company's Q1 2025 earnings call.
I'm Mike Spar, Senior Vice President of Investor Relations. Joining me on today's call are Dave Ricks, Lilly's Chair and CEO, Lucas Montarce, Chief Financial Officer, Dr. Dan Skaronsky.
If you want to call in, join the panel so you can react to the earnings. The link is in the chat. You can join Safa, 9 spots left.
Lily Ufa, President of Lilly International, Jake Van Naarden, President of Lilly Oncology, and Patrick Johnson, President of Cardiometabolic Health and Lilly USA. We're also joined by Mark Keeman, Wes Tall, and Wai Wong of the Investor Relations team. During this conference call, we anticipate making projections and forward-looking statements based on our current expectations. Our actual results could differ materially due to several factors, including those listed on slide 4. Additional information concerning factors that could cause actual results to differ materially is contained in our latest Form 10-K and subsequent filings with the SEC.
They're showing no slides. It's just an audio presentation.
About our products and pipeline is for the benefit of the investment community. It is not intended to be promotional and is not sufficient for prescribing decisions. As we transition to our prepared remarks, please note that our commentary will focus on our non-GAAP financial measures. Now, I'll turn the call over to Dave.
Thank you, Mike. Q1 was another exciting quarter. We increased our revenue, advanced our pipeline, invested to drive future growth, and shared the first phase 3 clinical data from our oral GLP-1, or orforglipron. Dan will share more detail during the R&D update, but we're pleased with the results from the Achieve-1 trial for orforglipron in patients with type 2 diabetes. These data met our expectations and are the first step to delivering our overall goal for the program, which is to create a medicine that offers injectable GLP-1-like efficacy, safety, and tolerability with the convenience of a once-daily pill that can be manufactured at scale to meet global demand. This scientific breakthrough has the potential to eventually impact hundreds of millions of people around the world with chronic diseases. And we expect phase 3 data from 7 global clinical trials to read out over the next 12 months across type 2 diabetes and obesity. We also expect potential regulatory submissions for obesity to begin worldwide by the end of 2025. On slide 6, we list Q1 financial metrics and highlight progress related to our strategic deliverables. Revenue grew 45% compared to Q1 of 2024. Our key products, defined as Ebglyss, Jaypirca, Kisunla, Mounjaro, Omvoh, Verzenio, and Zepbound, grew by more than $4 billion. And now account
They're not showing any slides, so please
disregard
disregard that. They're not showing slides.
In addition to the orforglipron readout, we achieved several other key pipeline milestones this quarter. They include the approval of Jaypirca in the EU for CLL, the approval of Omvoh in the US, EU, and Japan for Crohn's disease, and the initiation of a phase 3 program for olomorasib in resected adjuvant non-small cell lung cancer. We also shared plans to more than double our manufacturing investment in the U.S. In total, we've announced over $50 billion of new U.S. manufacturing investments since 2020, including our most recent announcement to build 4 new facilities, of which 3 will be API or active pharmaceutical ingredient facilities. Lastly, we distributed $1.3 billion in dividends in the first quarter and executed a $1.2 billion share repurchase. We realize there's a lot of investor focus right now on tariffs and trade, so I'll make a few comments that reflect our current views on these complex and quite dynamic matters. We support the U.S. government's goals to increase domestic investment. However, we don't believe tariffs are the right mechanism. Enhanced tax incentives or the extension of the Tax Cut and Job Act are better tools to achieve their goals. The announced tariffs currently in effect do not materially change Lilly's 2025 financial outlook. However, the expansion of tariffs in other geographies or increases in retaliatory tariffs would have a negative effect on Lilly and for our industry. As a company, Lilly has a large U.S. manufacturing footprint with 10 active projects ongoing to build and expand new sites. Upon completion of our manufacturing agenda, we will be able to supply medicines for the U.S. market entirely from U.S. facilities, as well as increase the volume of medicines we export. We will continue to execute our U.S. manufacturing agenda. However, we urge the administration to negotiate deals with key trading partners as soon as possible that level the playing field for American exporters like Lilly and remove harmful tariffs, and non-tariff market access barriers in the developed economies. Now I'll turn the call over to Lucas to review our Q1 financial results.
Thanks, Dave. As shown on slide 7, Q1 was another strong quarter of financial performance, with revenue growing 45% compared to Q1 2024, driven by our key products. Gross margin as a percentage of revenue was 83.5% in Q1, an increase of 1 percentage point versus the same quarter last year. Gross margin was positively impacted by improved production costs and favorable product mix, which were partially offset by lower realized prices. Marketing, selling, and administrative expenses increased 26% as we invested in promotional activities to support new launches across our therapeutic areas. R&D expenses increased 8%, driven by higher development expenses for late-stage assets and additional investments in early-stage research. In Q1, we recognized acquired IP R&D charges of $1.57 billion, primarily related to the previously announced acquisition of Scorpion Therapeutics' PI3K alpha inhibitor program. In total, IP R&D charges negatively impacted earnings per share by $1.72. Our non-GAAP performance margin, which we define as gross margin less R&D, marketing, selling, and administrative expenses as a percentage of revenue, was 42.6%, an increase of over 11 percentage points from Q1 2024. Our Q1 effective tax rate was 20.2%. The Q1 tax rate was negatively impacted by the previously described non-deductible acquired IP R&D charges. At the bottom line, we delivered earnings per share of $3.34 in Q1, inclusive of the negative impact of $1.72 from acquired IP R&D charges. This compares to earnings per share of $2.58 in Q1 2024, inclusive of 10 cents of acquired IP R&D charges. On slide 8, we quantified the effect of price, rate, and volume on revenue growth. U.S. revenue increased 49% in Q1, driven by strong volume growth of our key products, including Zepbound and Mounjaro, partially offset by a 7% decline in price. Moving to Europe, revenue increased 71% in constant currency. Q1 2025 was positively impacted by a one-time benefit of $370 million related to further restructuring our alliance with Boehringer Ingelheim. Excluding this benefit, constant currency revenue grew 46%, driven primarily by Mounjaro, partially offset by a 7% decline in price. Japan revenue grew 15% in constant currency, with volume growing 16%, driven by Mounjaro and Jardiance. Moving to China, Q1 revenue increased 21% in constant currency. Volume growth was primarily driven by Mounjaro. As a reminder, we recently initiated a limited Mounjaro launch in China, with the expectation to gradually increase commercial launch in the second half of 2025 as supply becomes available. Revenue in the rest of the world increased 17% in constant currency, primarily driven by volume growth from Mounjaro and, to a lesser extent, Verzenio. Slide 9 provides an update on the performance of our key products. Beginning with immunology, we have seen encouraging U.S. uptake of Ebglyss in atopic dermatitis. New patient starts are increasing, and we are making good progress securing access and reimbursement. Ebglyss is currently covered by 2 of the largest pharmacy benefit managers, and we expect further access improvement later this year. As of May 1st, Ebglyss will be reimbursed on plans that account for 60% of people who are commercially insured. For Omvoh, we have received approval of Crohn's disease across the globe as a second indication. Commercial activities is going to drive new patient starts in this larger patient population. Moving to oncology, Jaypirca was recently approved in Europe for relapse or refractory CLL in patients who previously treated with a BTK inhibitor. We anticipate launches beginning in Q2. We also expect readouts from additional global phase 3 trials later this year, which we believe will be important to evaluate Jaypirca in earlier settings of CLL, including a head-to-head comparison with ibrutinib. Verzenio global sales grew 10% in Q1, as Verzenio continues to be the standard of care in high-risk early breast cancer. As expected, we have seen some impact from competition in early breast cancer. However, Verzenio's share of market in high-risk early breast cancer is stable and total prescriptions continue to grow. U.S. prescription grew by 7% in Q1, partially offset by the wholesaler inventory destocking in the quarter. International volumes for Verzenio grew 30% in Q1. Within neuroscience, Kisunla is now approved in 12 countries. We have seen a steady increase in the use of blood-based biomarkers, the conversion rates from diagnosis to treatment, and the number of new patients starting treatment in both the US and Japan. While it is encouraging to see progress, we do still expect that it will take some time to build this market. We expect US regulatory action for the modified dosing regimen for Kisunla in the next few months. Finally, moving to cardiometabolic health, both Mounjaro and Zepbound posted strong revenue growth. Mounjaro sales were $3.8 billion, more than double the same quarter last year. In the US, Mounjaro exited Q1 as the market leader in new prescription within diabetes incretin analogs. Outside the US, Mounjaro has launched in over 40 countries, and Q1 was another quarter of steady sequential growth. We recently launched in India and Mexico and plan to continue with additional countries throughout 2025. Our focus internationally is on seeking reimbursement for type 2 diabetes and developing the ecosystem to treat obesity as a chronic disease. Zepbound performance was also robust, as sales increased by $1.8 billion to $2.3 billion in the quarter. Zepbound is the US branded anti-obesity market leader in both total prescription and new prescription, reaching 60% and 74% respectively at the end of Q1. We also launched higher dose Zepbound vials, adding 2 additional doses for patients to access Zepbound through the self-pay channel. The uptake of Zepbound vials has been strong, and vials accounted for approximately 10% of total prescription and 25% of new prescriptions in Q1. On slide 10 is an update on trends in the US incretin analog market, which includes incretin prescriptions in both type 2 diabetes and obesity. Q1 was another quarter of steady market growth as total prescriptions grew by 46% compared to Q1 2024. Lilly performance was strong as a 4-week rolling average share of market increased by 5 percentage points compared to Q4 2024 and by 10 percentage points compared to the same quarter last year. On slide 11, we provide an update on capital allocation. Moving to slide 12 is our updated.
There are no slides. They're saying slides. There are no slides.
Our performance in Q1 was strong, and we are encouraged by the underlying trends we saw across our portfolio of medicines. As a result, we are reaffirming our revenue and performance margin guidance.
Oh, they've got slides up now.
Our per share guidance is unchanged.
No, they haven't.
Except for Q1 charges related to acquired IP R&D.
They finally posted them.
As Dave mentioned, the situation regarding tariffs and tariffs remains dynamic.
There we go.
We continue to monitor the external environment. However, we estimate that the announced tariff currently in effect will have a limited impact financially, which we have absorbed within our 2025 guide. Now I will turn the call over to Dan to highlight our progress on R&D.
Thanks, Lucas. I'll start with key data from our recently completed orforglipron phase 3 trial and provide some context on our development plans and timelines for this important molecule. I've previously said that our hypothesis was that orforglipron could deliver efficacy, safety, and tolerability similar to the best seen for available GLP-1 monotherapy injectables. I believe the results from ACHIEVE-1 trial support that hypothesis. Let me start with efficacy. Beginning on slide 13, you can see the reduction of 1.3 to 1.6% for hemoglobin A1c. Given the relatively low baseline of 8.0 in this 40-week monotherapy study, Patients on the two highest doses ended the study with a mean A1C of about 6.5%, similar to the lowest levels achieved in trials of other monotherapy GLP-1 agonists. In fact, with orforglipron, more than 65% of patients achieved an A1C less than or equal to 6.5%, which is below the American Diabetes Association's defined threshold for diabetes. In a key secondary endpoint, orforglipron also helped people
Link
with
is in the
diabetes
chat.
lose approximately
Cheers.
16 pounds, or 7.9% of their body weight at the highest dose. These data are in line with weight loss demonstrated with existing injectable GLP-1s in patients with diabetes, especially when considering the baseline weight and other demographic factors in this trial. Given that the study was only 40 weeks in duration, participants had not yet reached a weight plateau at the conclusion of this study. This result is encouraging as we look ahead to our first phase 3 readout in people with obesity that we expect in Q3. Most importantly, we were pleased to see the safety profile of orforglipron in this trial. The most common adverse events were gastrointestinal, which is consistent with the GLP-1 class. We did not see any hepatic safety issues in ACHIEVE-1. As you can see on slide 14, discontinuations due to adverse events were low, with only 4 to 8% of patients discontinuing orforglipron due to adverse events. The slow and stepwise dose escalation we utilized in phase 3, combined with the relatively long, about 24-hour half-life of this molecule, resulted in a tolerability profile that matched our expectations and was consistent with weekly injectable GLP-1s. The ACHIEVE-1 full results will be presented at the ADA's 85th Scientific Sessions and will be published in a peer-reviewed journal. This was the first of several phase 3 trials that will read out for orforglipron. On slide 15, you can see how ACHIEVE-1 fits into the broader orforglipron development program. Over the next 12 months, we expect to get results from 4 additional diabetes trials, where we're studying orforglipron compared to insulin and head-to-head versus other oral diabetes medicines. We also expect to get results in our 2 obesity phase 3 trials.
We will have our birthday celebrations for our 2 birthdays at the end of the earnings. Stand by. It's a member's perk.
Assuming success in these phase 3 programs, we plan to submit orforglipron for obesity in Q4 later this year, followed by type 2 diabetes in the first half of 2026. We also have an ongoing phase 3 trial in obesity in the maintenance setting, a phase 3 trial in obstructive sleep apnea and obesity, and we will initiate a phase 3 trial in hypertension later this quarter. We look forward to seeing more data from this robust clinical development program as we continue to find the impact orforglipron can have for patients. Moving on to other R&D updates since our last call. On the regulatory front, following discussions with the FDA, we've withdrawn our U.S. application for the heart failure with preserved ejection fraction indication for tirzepatide. We believe the positive phase 3 data from the SUMMIT trial do support an indication. However, FDA indicated an additional confirmatory clinical trial is required. Regulatory reviews are ongoing in other countries. Continuing with updates in cardiometabolic health, we're sharing today plans to initiate a new phase 3 trial studying our triple agonist retatrutide in patients with obesity and chronic low back pain. We're also announcing today next steps for our oral once-daily program targeting lipoprotein A, muvalaplin. In phase 2 data we presented last year, muvalaplin lowered lipoprotein A levels by up to 85% at the highest tested dose.
I want to know in the chat, will Andrew and Kimberly, our birthday guest members, will they be here at the end of the stream?
We're excited about
if you will be here at the end in about an hour, I will prepare the birthday surprise. Let me know so I can set up the studio. Thank you.
Moving to oncology. We've now started a new phase 3 program with olomorasib in KRAS G12C mutant resected adjuvant lung cancer. This is the third potential indication that we're simultaneously pursuing for olomorasib. Across our therapeutic areas, we made good progress in our early phase portfolio, and we advanced 5 new medicines into phase 1 clinical trials, as shown on slide 16. I'll now turn the call back to Dave for closing remarks.
Thanks, Dan. We know uncertainties exist right now in trade, tax, and international relations. While Lilly is actively engaged in shaping the external environment, we're mostly focused on executing our winning strategy, discovering, developing, and making new medicines
I'll get it
that can help
set right
people
now.
live healthier lives. We made good progress this quarter, and we are well positioned to deliver strong and sustained growth going forward. Now I'll turn the call over to Mike to moderate our Q&A session.
Thanks, Dave. We'd like to take questions from as many callers as possible. Consistent with prior quarters, we will respond to one question per caller, and we'll end the call promptly at 11 a.m. Paul, please provide the instructions for the Q&A session, and then we're ready for the first caller.
Certainly. At this time, we will be conducting a question and answer session. If you have any questions, please press star one on your phone at this time. We ask that participants today limit themselves to one question. If you do have a follow-up question, please rejoin the queue by pressing star one at any time. We also ask that while posing your question, you please pick up your handset if listening on speakerphone to provide optimum sound quality. Please hold while we poll for questions. And the first question today is coming from Asad Haider from Goldman Sachs. Asad, your line is live.
Thanks for taking the question. Dave, just, in light of the CVS formulary announcement this morning favoring Wegovy over Zepbound, there are clearly some investor concerns about the PBM dynamic in obesity, given what we've seen in other big healthcare markets in the past, where PBMs pit two companies against each other. So two-part question. Number one, what is your expectation on market share dynamics in the next weeks and months from the CVS formulary loss? And then second, can you talk to your strategy on how you're going to be navigating an environment where we could see PBMs continue to try and restrict formulary access between Zepbound and Wegovy? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. We're not surprised that this kind of thing was announced. If we look at what's happening in the market, we're pretty deep into a replacement cycle, particularly on obesity, and tirzepatide, as we've highlighted on this call, is gaining a lot of market share. Basically, most of the growth in the category is happening with our medicine. Of course, the private pay market is an important segment. We'd like to grow that segment, and we'd like to grow choice and access in that segment. So we're not interested at all in one-of-one deals of reducing access and choice for doctors and patients. We want to expand it. So this type of thing isn't too interesting to us, but it's understandable that it can happen, and obviously in this one case did. Our focus is on making better medicines and more accessible medicines. So orforglipron is a topic today. Excited by the possibility of an oral that could be more widely distributed around the world and here in the U.S. With GLP-1, injectable GLP-1 profile, like Dan highlighted, and of course on driving more advanced therapies as well in combination or triple acting agents like retatrutide. So that's our focus. It doesn't surprise me that this happened, and we'll work through it. Recognizing in this case as well, we're talking about the templated lives at CVS, and probably opt-in rates for employers in the templated part of their book are pretty low compared to the national average, just to maybe inform your analysis. And we'll work through it. Our job will be to continue to drive share and preference for our brand. I think the team's done a great job of that year to date, and we'll continue to focus on that while we wait for the Orfor launch and Retta data later this year.
Great. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Asad. Next question, please.
The next question will be from Jeff Meacham from Citibank. Jeff, your line is live.
Morning, guys. Thanks for the question. For Dan or for Dave, when you look at the positioning of orforglipron, is the ultimate goal to have meaningfully more indications than tirzepatide, just given the oral convenience? I think when you look beyond just weight loss, would seem that a broader cardio investment makes sense, but maybe also perhaps combos in I&I or autoimmune or even neuropsych. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Jeff. We'll go to Dan to talk about the orpho development strategy.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. And I think you're correctly pointing out that an oral medicine like orforglipron could be acceptable for use in a number of broad indications, particularly primary care type indications. That's guided our thinking on indications that we're pursuing. I think coming out of this readout, we have even more confidence in this molecule, and we'll aggressively pursue whatever directions we think work. Combinations surely are on the table where that makes sense for patients, particularly in disease areas where there could be synergy with other mechanisms probably there are a number of good ideas in immunology.
Just
and
getting set
neuroscience,
for our
as you point
birthdays.
out. Also, just a reminder, Jeff, it's not our only oral incretin. We have another molecule behind that, and we're continuing to innovate with even multifunctional orals. So I'm pretty excited about what's yet to come here. And surely we start with type 2 diabetes and obesity, but more to come.
Great. Thanks, Dan. On to the next caller, please.
The next question is coming from Chris Schott from JP Morgan. Chris, your line is live.
Great. Thanks so much. Just another orforglipron data. Just post the data we've seen here. Can you just elaborate a bit more on the role you see orforglipron playing in the core obesity and diabetes market relative to injectables? And maybe as part of that, any thoughts on what type of share you would envision orals taking in the market over time? Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Chris. We'll go to Patrick to talk about that role of oral in the broader incretin market.
Thanks a lot, Chris. I think there are significant opportunities here for orforglipron. Just looking at the type 2 market today, we know that approximately 50% of patients have a preference for an oral, giving everything else equal on the efficacy and the safety side. And similarly, on the obesity side, we know that we have approximately 25% of the patients in the US suffering from needle fear. So I think that positions us very nicely to be a first-line incretin for both type 2 and chronic weight management. But other benefits as well. I think with an oral here, we can scale and reach patients that is more or less impossible with only injectables. So I think it provides a huge global opportunity for us with orforglipron, and also from a manufacturing side, probably a significant benefit as well. So overall, I think tremendous opportunities here with orfor, both in type 2 and obesity in the US and other markets where we have launched, but also to scale globally to an extent we can't do with injectables.
Maybe two quick adds there. Segments that we're thinking about actively. One, of course, we're doing the maintain studies, which switch people from injectable to oral to maintain weight loss. That's a big unmet need in the market. People like the idea of stepping down and using less medicine. They're trying things on their own now, and we'll have science-based solution using oral, which we think will be an attractive choice. That data is not in hand yet. We need to wait for that to prove that out. But I think that's an interesting segment that will probably grow quite large over time, Chris. The other one is reaching segments of the population that maybe have comorbid risk, maybe not comorbid disease, have overweight but not obesity, and don't need dramatic weight loss, but sustained lower body weight is an important factor in their long-term health. And we'll look at studies there. I think the prior question was alluding to that in terms of indications that might be suitable for that space. So we have big ambitions here, and of course need to see the full data package come in on obesity, but pretty exciting opportunity.
Great. Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Dave. Ready for the next question, please.
The next question will be from Terence Flynn from Morgan Stanley. Terence, your line is live.
Great. Thanks for taking the question. Two-part on orforglipron as well. I know you're obviously not going to comment directly on pricing at this point, but maybe just conceptually, if you're delivering the same profile as an injectable medicine, why would you decide to price lower, I guess, given you price to value? And then as you think about having a portfolio of weight loss medications potentially in 2026, does that give you additional leverage with some of these PBM discussions?
Kimberly and Andrew, will you both be with me in the next half an hour? At the end of this, it's birthday celebrations. The studio is ready to go.
To Patrick to weigh in the thoughts on the ortho pricing and then the portfolio implications as well.
Well, thanks a lot, Aaron.
Click the share button underneath and share it to everybody.
On that
or your family, they can chat live on the screen.
I think truly having a portfolio in this space, and as Dave shared earlier on oral, that we actually could approach patients with a BMI above 27, lower BMIs, it's sepatide that probably will play as a foundation for treatment of chronic weight management for quite some time to come, and potentially a triple agonist where you could target people with a BMI above 35, and so I think that gives us a position of strength in this marketplace.
Maybe just one policy related ad, how do we think about pricing forward, especially in a category like this.
So Andrew and Kimberly, click the share button, invite your family to join in the stream. They can chat on the birthdays, so you can keep the video forever and clip it.
We've been very vocal.
So one day of the year you can do that.
About trying to move away from that past. Basically, to have a more transparent, closer pricing between list and net. Maybe important to say that based on this morning's news as well. So we priced Zepbound at a discount to the competitor, some meaningful discount on list price, with the idea of trying to squeeze those two numbers together. We'd like to continue that progress so that patients and payers have a more similar basis for cost sharing and net cost. I think that's a better way forward. So just as Patrick and the team work on pricing strategies, et cetera, know that in the background we're trying to push these two numbers together over time, reduce gross to net spreads, have less rebate flow into the channel, and more transparent overall pricing.
Great. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Patrick. Next question, please.
The next question will be from Mohit Bansal from Wells Fargo. Mohit, your line is live.
Great. Thank you very much for taking my question. I think going back to the CVS announcement this morning, there are two ways to look at it. I mean, one could be, which, obviously the stock reaction is like that. It seems like, a Zepbound versus Wegovy kind of price war. Or the other way could be, looking at CVS comments, it seems like a lot of employers did not opt in, and CVS is finding a way to actually provide affordable access to this medicine. How do you view this development? And in longer term, I think, is it a better versus GLP-1s you see, or is it a GLP-1 versus the access situation you see this is going to evolve over a couple of years?
Thanks for the question, Mohit. I think, Dave, do you want to elaborate on some of the earlier comments about the CVS change?
I think those are good questions to ask Novo and CVS, really. Just pointing out that the book of business we're talking about is smaller employers who tend to take the templated formulary. The opt-in rates already are low. So it is possible that depending on what net price that CVS is going to offer those clients, that you get more opt-in. I think that's a net good thing overall, because what we see, despite the press, is when employers opt in, they tend to not opt out. Employees like to be on these medicines. And there's a big study yesterday you may have seen from Aon, which looked at real-world data, which is very compelling. That within 2 years, there's ROI, and a 40% reduction in MACE events in the real world, et cetera. So that could be good, as you're saying. On the other hand, I guess, we're focused on innovation and differentiation. We see kind of a mega category here that will have many different choices and solutions. And it seems like the wrong idea to reduce choice. Maybe there's patients who are taking Zepbound in one of these formularies, and as of July 1, they won't have that choice. I think they'll be quite upset about that. And we'll see how the market reacts and how much share gets moved ultimately. But as I said, our preference is to expand access, not reduce it.
Thanks, Dave. Next caller, please.
Next question will be from Alex Hammond from Wolfe. Alex, your line is live.
Thanks for taking the question. Just one quick one on Trailblazer-ALZ 3. So during the 4Q call, Dan mentioned that the team is closely watching the preclinical trial, and the study will read out when the target number of progression events were accrued. Can you update us as to where we are from that events point of view and remind us of what a successful trial looks like? Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Alex. We'll go to Anne for the question on the welcome question on the Alzheimer's portfolio.
Yes, thanks so much for a question on Alzheimer's. And as we mentioned in the past, we have completed enrollment in the TV3 study. And as you said, it's an event-based study, so the timeline for the readout is driven by this. And although our clinicaltrials.gov lists the date in 2027, we believe it could be earlier than that. So we're looking forward to that. Now, these are patients who have elevated levels of amyloid but no detectable symptoms. And our goal is to significantly reduce the risk that people ever experience the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. So that's the goal of the study. The actual endpoint is time to event of clinical progression. And we measure that by the CDR global score. So really preventing people from moving to the symptomatic stage, which is the stage at which the greatest impact is happening. So what we saw in TV2 obviously got us very excited about the potential outcome here, with the fact that patients earliest in disease and early symptomatic did so well and had such a significant slowing of progression, 60%. So we'll look forward to sharing more as the events occur. And again, we'll share more timing when we have those events reached.
Great. Thanks, Anne. Next question, please.
The next question will be from Seamus Fernandez from Guggenheim. Seamus, your line is live.
Thanks for the question. So I'll go with another non-obesity question. How is Ebglyss tracking against your ambition of it being a best-in-class launch? Is your vision for peak sales in line with consensus sales of $2 billion, or do you see an opportunity materially higher than that? And if not, is the barrier related to Sanofi's claimed rebate wall or something else like the breadth of the label or perceived efficacy differentiation? Thanks so much.
Great. Thanks, Seamus. We'll go to Dan to talk about the Ebglyss launch dynamics and some goals for the brand.
Yeah, thanks, Seamus. We certainly do have high aspirations for Ebglyss. It's a great medicine. We saw amazing data in our clinical trials. I think this prepared us well to take on the market leader in atopic derm, which is a large and growing market. And in the early months of launch, we've seen good uptake, as you can see reflected in the numbers. And I think probably most telling is what we're seeing and hearing from physicians. Initially, I think in any launch, people try to their most severe patients, people who might have failed other therapies, and when they see good responses there, they move it into the first-line setting. That's exactly the motion we're seeing from physicians. They're happy with the results they're getting, and they're using it more and more. A lot of work to do, and you point out the heavy competitive dynamics, but I like the asset I have. In terms of the rebates and coverage, I think as Lucas said, we're seeing a growing coverage here in the United States, and I think we'll overcome any issues there without trouble. So we look forward to broad access and continued accelerating uptake.
Great. Thank you, Dan. Next caller, please.
The next question will be from Tim Anderson from Bank of America. Tim, your line is live.
Thank you. Question on kind of going back to formulary positioning in obesity. So I know you don't want to play the one-of-one formulary game, but it's still something that might occur anyway because Novo's losing share to you, and price is really the only lever they can pull at the moment. And some payers will look at one-of-one as a way to manage spend. I know that some states have already taken that approach. Now we're seeing CVS do it. So really the question is, I guess, of covered lives today, what % of payers already are having this one-of-one approach? And just, again, your view for how this is going to evolve going forward, whether you like it or not. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. For the next question on CVS, we'll go to Patrick.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tim. You know, one-on-one is quite rare in the marketplace today when it comes to obesity. And as Dave said earlier, we deal with contract negotiations all the time, and we're not entirely surprised with the announcement this morning, taking into account Zepbound's strong performance. For us, we will just continue to execute as strongly as we can. And I think we have a tremendous momentum in the marketplace with a net switch that is quite significant to Zepbound in the marketplace. We will continue those efforts across the PBMs, Medicaid and also Medicare, and of course our self-pay effort with buyouts as well.
Thank you, Patrick. Next question, please.
The next question will be from Evan Seigerman from BMO Capital Markets. Evan, your line is live.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for taking my question. I wanted to touch on tirzepatide and HFpEF. The update was a bit surprising today. Can you provide some additional detail on what FDA wants to see in regard to additional data and what you didn't have from the Summit trial that was to demonstrate the clear enough benefit? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. We'll go to Dan for the question on the heart failure dynamics.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. It's probably obvious to you as it is to us that was a study with a really strong and profound benefit for patients. So we're excited about the opportunity to help patients with that. I think from the FDA perspective, they want multiple trials to support this indication. And I think that's probably where we ended it. It's possible we could get additional data from other trials to support a resubmission here. On the other hand, just remember that all of the patients in this trial and in the proposed indication are already covered under the obesity indication. So it's not a new population to treat. It's rather a new benefit for people that might already be widely understood to doctors today. So it's a bit unfortunate we're in this position, and it could have a bit of a curtailing effect on investment in HFpEF, which is a pretty serious unmet medical need. So I'm sorry to see that, but it's kind of hard to think of the incentive for doing large outcome trials in this population that's already covered under an existing indication and the benefits are well understood.
Great. Thanks, Dan. Next question.
Next question is from James Shin from Deutsche Bank. James, your line is live.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you for the question. Maybe one for Lucas. I know revenue guidance was maintained, but is the mid to high single-digit price headwind still intact following the CVS formulary decision on Zepbound and also given the movement in FX? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question, James. Maybe just jumping into it right away. As you've heard, we are reaffirming our guide for the full year, that the midpoint continued to be in that 32% range for the year. We are off to a good start with the strong growth that we see in the first quarter. To your question about the price, yes, again, I mentioned last time and I'm reaffirming now, again, that mid to high single-digit price erosion. We've seen that in the first quarter, by the way, -6% in price. So it's very consistent with what I shared in the last earnings call. So overall, I think that perspective has not changed, both in terms of the guide and our expectations on price for the year. Maybe just again to provide a little bit more perspective on how things evolve, on how we think about the guide. There are always dynamics taking place during the year, as you can imagine, and we factor those ones as part of our forecasting process. So we, as Patrick alluded, we are not surprised with this. And again, we will continue to navigate. We feel strongly about the update that we are seeing nowadays, and we will continue to navigate through this throughout the year.
Great. Thank you, Lucas. Thanks for the question. Next question, please.
The next question will be from Umer Raffat from Evercore. Umer, your line is live.
Morning, guys. Thanks for taking my question, and congrats on recent orforglipron updates. I had a question, or two-part question on orfo safety. First, I recall you mentioned no hepatic safety signal was observed and no Hy's law. Could you confirm there was no numerical imbalance on ALT above 5 times? And on diarrhea, I recall it was in the low to mid-20s across the second highest and highest dose. How should we think about that heading into the obesity trial, especially with longer duration? Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for the question on the safety profile for orfo.
Okay, thanks. Those are very specific questions, which I may not precisely know the answer to, honestly. But as far as the overall liver safety profile, including kind of mean changes and excursions from the mean, we didn't see anything of concern here, and it looked very similar to placebo. So I think we feel confident that additional data readouts coming, of course, but so far so good. I think with respect to rates of diarrhea, you're pointing out that they were a bit higher in this study than we've seen in previous studies. They were also higher in the placebo rate. I think we might need to move to an understanding of diarrhea rates as a sort of a ratio of drug to placebo, because they can be pretty variable depending on the country that you enroll the trial. And we saw that effect in this study with some countries having very high diarrhea rates in placebo and drug. And also the way that's ascertained by the investigator. So I didn't see anything of concern there, but I do note our trials probably across Lilly seem to have slightly higher diarrhea rates than others. But let's see what we see in the obesity rate. That's not the main focus here. Probably the more telling indicator of tolerability is going to be discontinuations due to adverse events. That's what probably matters the most in the real world.
Great. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for the question. Next question, please.
The next question will be from Steve Scala from TD Cowen. Steve, your line is live.
Oh, thank you very much. My recollection is that Lilly used aggressive formulary positioning as a lever with touts against other IL-17 competitors and therefore reduced choice. Would you refresh our memories on what that did for touts in terms of share and incremental sales? And if you're willing to, at what discount? And how can that experience inform us on the outlook for Zepbound and Wegovy
Just stand by for a second. I'm just doing a very, very quick test that needs to be done live. You're going to be right back, so stand by. Please just stand by for Okay, thank you for that test. We shall now go back to our earnings. Thank you.
Maybe a point to raise here is that kind of payer behavior is more common in the pharma industry when you have more than two players and when you have product profiles that are clinically kind of close to each other. Just pointing out in the obesity space, it's neither of those things are true. And it'll be interesting to see how this experiment works. We have more differentiation coming, so I think there'll be more choice needed in the marketplace, not less. It's really never been our strategy in a category to use the payer channel to drive share exclusively. Even when we had big advantages on clinical profile. Jardiance is an example of that, where we always sought to have multiple choices in that class. So different memory than yours, Steve, although you've been doing this a long time as well. And that doesn't mean we didn't have some situations that were one-on-one for Taltz, but it wasn't our preferred position. And frequently we didn't offer different rates to get there. That's also, all that's true now. We as a company position want more choice, and particularly where innovation's flourishing and we have a lot of it coming, it wouldn't be in our interest.
Great. Thank you, Dave. Next question, please.
The next question is coming from Courtney Breen from Bernstein. Courtney, your line is live.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the question. Perhaps just following on from Steve's question as well. Can you clarify for us, because I think a number of investors are concerned, and obviously we see that in the share price today, how many current patients on Zepbound are being covered by CVS Caremark today?
Okay, thanks for the question, Courtney. Maybe give some color on the rough magnitude, Patrick, on the CVS Zepbound aerodynamics.
Yeah, I don't have a specific number of lives to share today, but I think when you look at it, so back to, it's not the entire CVS account. We're talking about the subset of plans that Dave shared earlier. And we also need to understand what is the level of employer opt-in in those plans. And we believe it's not on the high end. So I think that's probably the guidance we can provide today. And I think we will just continue our efforts to drive increased employer opt-in across other plans and segments. But that's that's the only thing I can share today.
Great. Thank you, Patrick. Next question, please.
The next question will be from David Risinger from Leerink Partners. David, your line is live.
Yes, thanks very much. So I'm hoping that you can comment, Dave, on discussions with the Trump administration on tariffs outside of the 232 investigation. So the driver of my question is that the countries of origin for Lilly's drugs, IP and API, are obviously not in countries that represent national security threats. And I'm curious about the discussions to satisfy the Trump administration's interests in having drug companies record more profits in the United States and generate more tax revenue in the United States. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dave. Dave, go ahead.
Pertinent question. I mean, you're correct in pointing out that the Section 232, mechanism is a national security mechanism, and that's where the pharma review sits today. Separately, there's an agenda item in the administration to repatriate supply chain, and one we support. And then thirdly, there's a question of raising revenue while they're going through a reconciliation process and so forth. So just on those three things, the 232 review, I think, has merit in the sense that if we look at what are really a lot of commonly used generic medications, some of which invented by Lilly long ago or other innovative companies, have moved toward offshore sources, single source sources, and potentially in competing countries where you can imagine a future conflict and a potential problem. We see that too. I think the branded industry would like to help with that problem if we could. Fundamentally, it's kind of a market mechanism problem where there's no real good pricing available, so there's not going to be an onshore presence till there is. But in the case of emergency, maybe we could work with them. I think there's a big question of whether tariffing that would do anything to move the supply chain, and maybe that's the subject of that review. And we would hope the 232 review would be a kind of cabin to that question. Secondly is the trade imbalance, broader thing. And as you're pointing out, we have a mixed source, U.S. and non-U.S., but most of our non-U.S. is Irish origin. And, we're in the process. We made a decision 4 years ago with the board to, move away from just a pure efficiency, whether it be tax efficiency or cost of goods efficiency, and move to more of a resilient position. We've been at this a little while, and we'll continue to do that. And so that will rebalance naturally our sourcing. We'll have more choices. So I think tariffing that could have a transient effect for Lilly, but probably not a long-term one. We think the real answer there, as I said earlier, is to reduce the gap that led to that problem to begin with, which is really an income tax situation. And when the U.S. was at 35 and Ireland was at 15. So I think tax reform is key to that, and will fix that problem for the long term. Within Lilly, we've made investments to sort of contain that anyway. The raising revenue in general is a separate point, and one that we point out that our industry pays disproportionate amount of income tax. And then actually, because of in the 2017 Tax Cut Jobs Act, there are provisions for a minimum global tax, basically, so that we already pay tax on foreign sourced income. So that really doesn't change whether we move it back to the U.S. or not. What that does is it has an effect of raising income tax in these third countries, which it actually has done over the last 7 years. So I think we're well positioned within the mix of companies. I think these issues are complicated and hard to reduce to sound bites. 232 has substance. I think the trend for the industry and certainly for Lilly of redomesticating is well underway. And we hope we don't have to get into a tariff discussion. Hopefully we pass a tax bill and this can normalize.
Great. Thank you, Dave. Next question, please.
The next question is from Kerry Halford from Berenberg. Kerry, your line is live. Kerry, please check your mute button. Your line is live.
Apologies. Thank you. A question on the cash pay approach here in the US is about CVS also announced that its pharmacists will stock the Wegovy cash pay pens. So my question is whether Zepbound cash pay vials are available in the US in any pharmacy chain today. And given your enthusiasm for that opportunity, cash pay in general, I'm interested in whether you're considering additional channels outside your online Lilly Direct portal. Would that be an opportunity for you as well within the pharmacy chains in the US? And then a related question, do you ultimately intend to ever offer the Zepbound pens via the cash pay route, or do you intend to keep that separation? Thank you.
Thanks, Kerry. Related question, again, getting close to the line there. But Patrick, do you want to take the question on the vials, the cash pay distribution, and if we would ever think of other formulations?
Yeah. I think we're very pleased with the performance in our self-pay segment. And if we look just on Q1, we had revenues above $200 million there, and 25% of the MBRX for Zepbound are initiated in Q1 through self-pay, and 17% of the entire market MBRX in self-pay. And I think we stated from the beginning when we launched Lilly Direct that we did this to remove friction for patients and that we would continue to add products, add services, and other components. So I think you should expect more to come through Lilly Direct. I don't have anything to announce today, but I would just emphasize that the price change that we announced earlier this year and the launch of high-dose vials has significantly contributed to an even further acceleration of the market growth. So I think we are doing something here to really enable more patients to access those medications at a relatively competitive price.
Great. Thank you, Patrick. Next question.
The next question is from Akash Tiwari from Jefferies. Akash, your line is live.
Hey, thanks so much. It seems like your team's really going after this 75% of Americans who are both overweight and obese. Would long-term net pricing have to approach insulin levels for that to become reality? Additionally, the street models long-term margins going above 50%, while your team's been insistent that that 40 to 45% range is really sustainable. How much of that delta is really us misunderstanding your volume over price approach to GLP-1s long term?
Thanks, Akash. We'll go to Patrick and then potentially Lucas to talk about both pricing long term and margins.
Well, I would say, when we look at the overall portfolio, I think we have stated from the beginning that we will continue to take a very disciplined approach here. But also what Dave shared, we probably see an evolution here where you see a delta in between list price and net price to patients. And I think that's pretty much what's guiding us from a portfolio perspective moving forward.
Yeah, and I already comment from the pricing perspective. I think the price impressions are consistent with the trends that we have seen in the last 12 months, and that's what we are forecasting moving forward. It's a very dynamic situation as well, but we remain disciplined on our approach to provide optionality and have an open access for patients.
Great. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, Patrick. Next question.
The next question is from Trung Huynh from UBS. Trung, your line is live.
Hi, guys. Thanks for the question. Just on ortho obesity expectations. So in a similar way to outlining your thoughts on the ortho diabetes achieve data, how are you thinking about the weight loss for ortho in the attain obesity studies? And on the tolerability side of things, can you just give us any color on when you had those GI side effects and discontinuations in achieve? Was it early or later? Just thinking about how tolerability could be from the attain versus achieve studies. Thanks.
Thanks, Trung. We'll go to Dan for the ortho questions.
Yeah, thanks. These are important questions, particularly the expectations for the obesity study. And it probably takes some pain again to remind people that this is a monotherapy GLP-1 agonist, not a dual agonist like tirzepatide. So we need to expect weight loss that can be seen with GLP-1 monotherapy, which, as we showed in SURMOUNT-5, is quite different than what you get with two actions that tirzepatide has. So SURMOUNT-5 was a 72-week trial in obesity patients that Lilly ran that included monotherapy GLP-1 injectable in the form of semaglutide up to 2.4 milligrams. And I think in that study, we achieved about 13.7% weight loss with the GLP-1 monotherapy. This is a similar trial. It's not exactly the same for orforglipron, but probably we should expect to be somewhere near that. I think on tolerability, that study also had about a 20-some% of the patients, maybe 21% of the patients with vomiting, which is probably the most reliable indicator of GI tolerability and the most consistent across trials. So that's our expectations. Again, it's still to match the best available data from an injectable. And in this case, I'm focused on the trial that we conducted since we're conducting this trial with orforglipron. With respect to when did the discontinuations and tolerability events occur in the previous study, I think it was pretty similar to what we've seen in the past with injectables, that usually these things happen early in the study when people increase their dose. Actually, some of the difference between the top two doses was probably just a chance because it happened pretty early in the study when actually patients would have been on the same dose levels during the escalation scheme. So nothing of concern there. I think if we'd seen a different pattern with events happening late in the study, I think that would be more concerning, but that is not what we saw.
Great. Thanks, Dan. We're going to try to do a couple more quick ones. So next question, please.
The next question is from Carter Gould from Cantor. Carter, your line is live.
Good morning. Thanks for taking the question. Appreciate all the upfront commentary on tariffs. I guess, Dave, given sort of your unique perspective in Lilly's active role in shaping policy, it's I guess somewhat surprising we didn't hear you talk about some of the drug pricing risk. I guess anything you can share there around if you think potential MFN legislation is a priority or possibility in the coming balance of the year. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think it's always a risk for the industry. I think we point out that it's not coherent to have a discussion about that without talking about real net pricing versus real pricing in Europe. And that pulls you into a PBM reform discussion and a 340B discussion. So it's a complicated matter. I think you have to ask what would be the vehicle for such a thing. And there's certainly appetite in both parties to pursue this. Our goal, by the way, long-term is, to make sure that we can have a discussion, as I mentioned earlier, in trade with Europe that would really change how drugs are priced in that continent, and developed economies pay more for the R&D costs. That's the real answer here. But I think right now we're hyper-focused as an industry on fixing the IRA problem that was created as to small molecules. I think our enthusiasm for that policy change is high, and that'll be the focus, on the bill that's being contemplated now in May to get out of the House. So that's the focus today, and we'll try to manage the risk you're talking about in the background, all the while pointing out that it can't be independently looked at as list price in the U.S. versus Europe. It's a nonsensical idea.
Thanks, Dave. We'll try to squeeze in one or two more.
Thank you. The next question is coming from Rajesh Kumar from HSBC. Rajesh, your line is live.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my question. Just on access and coverage of Zepbound, could you update us on how that looks now compared to, say, a year back, same time? How many more patients have coverage in the U.S. and what are the next steps, especially in light of compounders being blocked from selling competing products, which are no longer allowed for Lilly's products at the moment.
So go to Patrick for an update on Zepbound access progress.
Thank you very much. I think we shared earlier that the formulary access is probably the easiest step, and the more challenging step is going to get employers to opt in. And we have made some significant progress there in 2024. We started the year with approximately 50% of the employers opting in. And by the end of 2024, we were at mid to the high 50s. So progress there on employer opt-in. But also in other segments, in Medicaid, we have actually moved from 11 states being covered by the end of 2024 to 14 states covering now, and incremental states Medicaid that have opted in April specifically for OSA. And on OSA, we know that the CMS has issued guidance that plans can reimburse for OSA, but they have 180 days since the approval, which took place late December last year. We expect some progress in Medicare as well during the second half of this year. In terms of compounding, I think it's really hard to assess the magnitude of that market. But I think there are a couple of important cuts here. Not all of those patients are necessarily on label. And B, there is also a matter of pricing that we believe at our price point of $349 is actually quite competitive. And thirdly, in terms of the overall preference in the marketplace, where we currently have a strong momentum with more than 75% of patients starting anti-obesity treatment starting on Zepbound. So I think we'll continue to execute along those lines across both segments, and we see progress being made every week.
Great. Thanks, Patrick. And then last question, please.
Last question today will be from Kripa Devarakonda from Truist Securities. Kripa, your line is live.
Hey guys, thank you so much for taking my question. I have a question about bimagrumab phase 2 trial, which is expected to be completed by June. Any update on when we might see data? We've heard the potential to see data in June at a conference. Also, can you help set expectations for the data? Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, Kripa. We'll go to Dan to talk about bimagrumab.
Yeah, thank you for the question on bimagrumab. There are actually 2 phase 2 trials. The first one that was conducted actually before we acquired the asset was in combination with semaglutide. That'll be the data that'll be disclosed first. The ongoing trial is in combination with tirzepatide, and of course that's the trial of greater interest to us. And I don't think we've commented on when we might disclose that data. Remember that this is an agent that was designed to see if we could have an effect on a positive effect on lean mass as well as a decrease in fat mass. And so that's what we're trying to see how that works in combination with these drugs.
Thanks, Dave. For closing comments? Okay, great. Thank you all for participating today on our earnings call and your interest in the company. Please follow up with the IR team as you have questions, which I'm sure you will after today. Everyone have a great day. Take care.
There we go. Eli Lilly earnings. Fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. Okay, we do have a couple of things to do before we end. We have 2 birthdays. It's Andrew and Kimberly still in the chat. Let me just confirm that you are here. We're about to do that. We also have a poll. Again, I'm going to put a message out, an announcement message. We are upgrading our Discord. You may experience some inconvenience over the next few days. I'm sorry, this will be over soon. Roles will be taken away and you will not see anything. When the work is completed, we will manually add back roles to members who verify they have a 3-month badge. We will that's YouTube badge. We will explain how to do that on a special live YouTube event. So all founder YouTube members will be given the service for free for life. Those who are premium subscribers will not lose roles and will also get a much more advanced service. Direct messaging will change to cut out the trolls and spammers. We can only message people who are friends from now on. All premium members can friend request me and send direct messages to me. There'll be more information updates very soon. If you wish to upgrade to the best service, it is just $2.99. Here is the link. Click purchase, not join, as you will not see anything or get the perks that are coming. You can cancel at any time. There is the link to become a Discord premium member. It's $2.99. Okay. Scroll down here. We have an Eli Lilly earnings. We asked you, is it a buy, hold, or sell? Let's see what you did. I'll give you the link now if you wish to vote. It's the community tab where you're watching now on YouTube. Let me give it to you there in the chat. I will refresh the screen, see what it says. 0 votes. We will refresh the screen and we are now at 27 votes. A buy 30%, hold 30%, sell 19%, and 22% was undecided. Okay, so there we go. That was our poll. We also ran another poll underneath about Bitcoin. Do you see it going to $1 million? Yes, 37%. No way, 50%. And 14% are undecided. There are our polls. Okie dokie dokie. Yes, our birthday boy and girl are in the chat. That's great. So we'll do that in a second. Stand by. I'm just going through making sure everything is hunky-dory. We've got... let me just double check everything. We've got things updating and changing as we speak. Let's see if Sensei did that video. No. Okay. That one's not done. Oh, no, sorry. Will take me 20 minutes. Okay. Okay. What should I do? All right. I'll tell you what I'll do. To it, but please update ASAP. All right, okay. Should we do that? Just trying to think what's best service for you. No, I won't do that. No. I'll send from Extra. We've got an important video here. I'll send from Extra. Okay. Okay, I'll send from Extra. Okay, good. You got the link to Extra in the chat. What we're going to do, we've got an event about to start. A special event that Sensei's recorded. This is it here in the chat. That's it. I'm going to give you Extra first. It'll automatically take you to Extra, and it'll automatically the link at the top pinned and so on will take you to Extra, and then in Extra in a few minutes I will give you the link to Sensei's next event. There's no closing bell this afternoon. Sensei will be covering it for me. I'm taking Leah to the doctors, so there is no closing bell from me, but there will be a closing bell from Sensei, and there's this special event which will link to the closing bell as well, I'd imagine. So we'll send you to the Extra channel first so you can pick it up from there, okay? So you won't miss anything. All right, let me just make sure we are good. everywhere else. Let's make sure that's good. Yes, we got a birthday now. Let me start to pump the smoke. It's all about the smoke. There's that one and that one. Okay. Eli Lilly is going down at the moment. The S&P 500 is booming today. I've reached another all-time high. Look at this, 189,200, 191,700, nearly at $400,000 now with my overall position. If you look there, 340 plus 30, that's 370, 380, 390, 391, nearly at 400,000. I said I'll be at $400,000 by June. It could be way before then. So then we're on our $1 million target is just really round the corner. It's been an incredible journey. This is the power of buying the dip at the bottom and going in with conviction, and now I'm being rewarded for it. That's what it's all about, and hopefully you all did it with me together. Right, so let me just double check everything is hunky-dory. Our birthdays are ready to go. Our event extra is good to go. Yes, it is. All right. Wow, it's all happening very quick today. Let me just check on. That's all looking good. Trying to see if I need to reply to anybody. We're all up to date. All right. Okay. So we're pumping out the smoke now. Let me just refresh that. See if he's done it. I'll keep checking right to the very end. That's what I will do. Right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to celebrate 2 birthdays. If you all remember, this is one of the perks that you get, but you can also now clip it. We've added that feature back in to the live shows. So let me show you what I mean by that. If you look, this is now a new feature. We want to bring this back to all our members. All right. So when it's your birthday or any time, you can clip special events and you can keep things. Okay. So look at this. Under the video, if you refresh the screen on mobile or computer, you will see the clip function. You see this? And this is particularly for Andrew and particularly for Kimberly, our birthdays. We're going to do 2 birthdays now. You can clip this. This is what happens. You can clip it. You can name it. So you can name it here. You can say, my birthday. All right? You can choose where this little slider goes. So the bit you want, it's a 1-minute clip. You can then save it. It's your video, your actual video. You can share the clip on your social media. So that's what you can do right now. So Kimberly and Andrew, you can do this. You'll end up keeping your very own birthday clip forever. Now here in the chat, set it to live chat. So hopefully your family and friends are going to join in and you're going to get a birthday video card forever. You can keep this forever because this will live forever. So what you do is you get all your friends now to chat in here, wish you happy birthday. We're about to do that. And then you clip it. And then if they want to watch further on after the clip, they can. But at least they get that 1 minute clip and then it can carry on if they want to. Now, also, for those of you that like the show and you want to support the show and have some fun with it, you might find some funny bits in the show. You might find some funny bits you want to save, highlights, things you really enjoyed, funny bits. You can save them as a clip. You go, oh, that was funny. You can just clip that. And at the bottom of the channel, we have the members clips. So once you clip them, that they become your own videos. They go to the bottom of the channel and you will have them forever. So what it'll look like is down at the bottom, there will be, at the bottom of the channel down here, there'll be all the clips. There aren't any at the moment because we've just turned the service back on again. So if you want to do that, you can clip stuff and you can keep the video forever. You can name it. It's a wonderful thing. And you've got your own highlights and we might be giving prizes away for the funniest clips and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of good stuff coming to that if you want to do that. But for now, what we're going to do is do our birthday. There we go. We're already getting set. Let me put the birthday overlay. And we want to see everybody wishing our birthday, Andrew and Kimberly. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do two of these because I want them to have their own video each. But We don't want to show how much money we're making because we know how much money we're making. We're not bothered about that. That's all taken care of itself. What we want to do is we want to go all messages like this. I want to remove that end of the show for a minute just so we don't cover over any names. Let me just get rid of that. So unpin. Now I want everyone to copy and paste happy birthday. And we'll do Andrew first. So Andrew, for your family and friends, let's do Andrew. Happy birthday, Andrew. So hopefully your family and friends are here. You've all tapped the like button. You've clicked subscribe. And don't forget, go under the video, refresh it if you don't see it, clip it, own it, keep it. You can do it later if you forget, but it's best to do it now, otherwise you will forget. And you will have your very own forever birthday video. All right. So I think we are just about ready to go. Now everybody knows how it works. We'll do Andrew first. Okay, we're doing Andrew first. We'll do Kimberly second. So Andrew and Kimberly can clip their own videos and own their own videos forever. All right. So you click clip, name it, call it what you like, and it's there forever. So let's do it. Let's do it right now. Here we go. We're all set. I set it up earlier during the call. All right. We're in position, ready to rock and roll. And we'll do Andrew first. So can we all start copying and pasting Andrew in the chat as fast as you can? I'll wait till everyone starts. I'll just drink my tea. And then we'll do Kimberly. All right. So here we go. Here's Andrew. Copy and paste, everybody. I want to see it rolling through. You are very welcome. Make sure that you click the clip. It's your one chance to own your very own video birthday card. And if you are on the all links page on my website, martynlucas.com, you also get a birthday card as well if you sign up for that. But this is a members exclusive perk. This is a service that I actually charge for. People pay $500 for me to make them birthday videos, and you get this for free as a member. So it's Andrew first of all. Andrew, are you ready? You can clip this. Okay, let's go. Let's make sure all the lights are good. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. So here we go. Andrew, it's your birthday live here on the show today around the world to all the Lucasades family. Make sure that you've clipped this video. If you can't see it, refresh the screen and find the little clip pair of scissors. Underneath, you can name it. You can call it Andrew's birthday. It will live forever. You can clip it. It'll only clip a minute, but then people can play the rest of it later on. So don't worry. Just clip it from the beginning and then they can just click carry on to watch it. You can then share it on your social media and you will have your very own birthday video card forever. So Andrew, this is for you. This is your birthday video card from the Lucasades. Let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, no, to you. Happy birthday, Andrew. Happy birthday to you, to me, to you, to me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, to you, to you. Happy birthday, Andrew. Happy birthday to me, to you, to me, to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Andrew. Happy birthday to you, to you, to you. Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Happy birthday, Andrew. That was for you. Fantastic. Make sure you've clipped this. You can own it forever. It's yours. Share it on your social media. You can text it, email it, put it on your Facebook, wherever you like. This is yours. Happy birthday. See you next year. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter and you'll get your own birthday card as well. And if you join us on the Friday night concert, We'll continue the party in your honor. Cheers for now. Okay, and it's now time for Kimberly. It's Kimberly's birthday as well today. She's a member. She wants her own video card. So make sure we now copy and paste Kimberly in the chat. We want Kimberly to flow through. We want everyone copying and pasting throughout the chat. Keep it rolling, and let's do Kimberly's birthday right now. Come on, let's fill up the screen with Kimberly. I want to see all Kimberly on the screen first before I start. Make sure that you're up to date. Some of you are behind the stream. You've let it get behind the stream. Make sure that you're up to date so we can keep it rolling. Okay, so here comes Kimberly. Copy and paste. Let's fill up the screen with Kimberly now. This is for Kimberly. Hopefully Kimberly's family are in the chat and they'll be joining in as well. That would be absolutely lovely. All right, we're going to start in the next 10 seconds. Let's get it rolling. We want to see happy birthday, Kimberly. I need a few more on the screen to get it moving. Moving. Come on. Where are you all? You're very slow today. Oh, here we go. Here comes Kimberly. Thank you, James 007. We want to have it copy and paste and filling up the screen for Kimberly. All right, everybody, are you ready? Okay, we're going to start. I just want one more copy and paste just till we got it all Kimberly on the screen. There we go. Let's do it. Kimberly, it's your birthday. You're one of my Lucas aides, and all around the world now we're going to celebrate your birthday. If you clip this video underneath, refresh the screen, you'll see a clip feature. You can clip it, name it Kimberly's birthday, put it on your social media, and you'll own it forever. It gives a 1-minute clip, but then people can carry on and watch a little bit more if they're enjoying it. And don't forget, if you then tune it when is it? If you tune in on Friday, we'll continue the party for you as well on Friday. But you can own this video forever. Happy birthday. Don't forget to get your newsletter as well at martynlucas.com, the all links page, and you can get a birthday card every year as well from me. Okay, let's do it. Kimberly, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kimberly. Happy birthday to you, to me. Oi! To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kimberly. Happy birthday to you. Oh, yeah. All right. Kimberly, it was your birthday. Make sure that you don't lose this video in history of time. Clip it underneath. If you don't see the clip button, refresh the screen. You can own it. This is your very own video birthday card forever. Stick it on your social media and we'll celebrate it again. Join me on Friday night and we'll continue the party in your honor. Happy birthday, Kimberly. All right, there we go. We've now got to wrap up the show. That was our birthday request for our members today. Let me go back over to the main show. Okay, rocking and rolling. Let's come back to the main screen, and there we go. Let's take away that. Move that back to there. Let's get all that done there. We need the... Don't need that. Don't need that. And that back on again. And we are ready to rock and roll. What a great day. But we've never done 2 before in one go. That was pretty exciting. So hope you've clipped it. Now, don't forget, if you've clipped it, it'll not only do you save it and share it, it'll go on the homepage of the channel. We can all celebrate again. We can all see how you clipped it, what you named it, all the fun of that. Make sure that you do clip it, and it'll go to the bottom of the homepage and everybody will see it. Oh, Sensei said his video is ready. Well, that worked out. good then, didn't it? Didn't it, Sensei? Very, very good indeed. Sensei's video is ready. Okay, gladiators are ready. Let's do that now. Let's schedule 10:30. Righty. 10:30. Let's scroll down here. 10:30. May the 1st, rock and rolling. Have you... it doesn't matter. I can't write that out. Have you scheduled May the 1st, 10:30. Done. Sets. Go back to there. Yes. I like it. Save. 10:30. Let me double check a few things. No, yes, no, yes. Let me set that for there. Yep. And we are good. Okay, continue, save. Alrighty then. Okay, so now we've got this ready to go. So what we're going to do, we're going to send you all to this instead, rather than the extra channel. Sensei's got it done. It's a good one. $5 billion offer. Hello. I'm like it. $5 billion offer. Hello. So thank you, Martyn. You are the best. You are welcome. Yes, I am the best. I'm the world piano man. But it's nice when you say it, though. Do you know what I mean? Next. Don't... hang on. Don't miss this. Okay, don't miss this. I'll put it there. I'll pin it to the top. There you go. Don't forget any funny moments, any birthdays, anything in the show that you think is funny. Clip it, save it, make funny little jokes. It's fine. You can do like 5-second clip, 10-second, 1 minute, whatever you like. It's a lot of fun. If people watch more than a minute, they just carry on watching the video. It doesn't matter. Right. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Going to change this show to end and go directly there. And let's click that now, send that to there. All right, we're good, we're done. Okay, ready to rock and roll. What a great day. The portfolio is going through the roof. We're all getting rich together. Is everybody getting rich? Just come back from my haircut. Love the new update on Discord. Great work. What updates? I ain't seen it yet. What updates? What are you seeing? What are you seeing? What's the updates? I don't know. I don't see anything. How come you're seeing stuff? What are you seeing? He's going, I love the updates. I ain't got a bloody clue. I don't know what the updates are. Right, okay. What do I know? It's only my server. Right, okay. Are you ready? Let's rock and roll. We're going to end the stream now. Thank you ever so much indeed. I'm going to send you over to Sensei's show. It's about, this is what it is. It goes live in 60 seconds. Flipping out, I've got to be quick. This is the event. It's pinned to the top automatically. It's also there. 5 billion offer. Bloody hell. What's going on? It's more money than I got. What's going on? We can't be doing that. Right, okay. Let's go over there now. Thank you ever so much. No closing bell from me. There is a closing bell, but Sensei's covering it. I'm taking Leah to the doctors. I'm afraid I can't be here. Send some love to Leah. She's needs me to take her to the doctors, so that's what we're doing. And we always go together. They always joke about it. Oh, here they are again. They're always together. We're always together. Leah never goes on her own. I don't go on my own. We always go together. So tomorrow, we're going to the doctors today. So there's no closing bell. There is, but Sensei's covering it. This is Sensei's next presentation, and we got more from Vaz coming out as well. So check this out. I'll see you back in a bit. I'll see you tomorrow morning for the opening bell. Do we have any earnings tomorrow? Any earnings tomorrow, which is... it is the MicroStrategy earnings tonight. All right, okay. Hopefully I'll be back from the doctors. MicroStrategy earnings. I will hopefully be back for that. Unfortunately, if I can't, I'll see if Sensei can do it. If not, we'll have to work something out. But MicroStrategy's after hours. Hopefully I'll be back for that. We'll see what happens. One way or the other, I'm sure we should get it sorted. All right? Okay, go and enjoy the premiere. Links in the chat. See you back later. Ta-ra for now. Take care. Bye-bye.